Hello, everyone. My name is Przemek Sienkiewicz, and despite the fact that I don't wear shorts and flip-flops, I really do work for Google. What you saw is a video that shows a collaborative and creative nature of human beings putting all that together when you give them tools to do it. And there is a reason why this video was at the beginning, and we'll get to that later. It's about how consumer technology is actually influencing what we do in our businesses. A few words of explanation. I've been asked by Naomi not to make it a Google marketing presentation, and hopefully you will not treat that as one. So, what I will try to do is answer one fundamental question: why companies are looking into outsourcing. And I will be talking from the perspective of Google Enterprise. Google Enterprise is a part of Google which is building technology that Google is using internally. And since 2006, this technology was also made available for the outside world, and we are selling it to businesses, governments, universities, and such. But let me put things in perspective a little bit before we move forward. If you look at that graph, that shows that 50 years ago, the average age of a company that made it to Standard & Poor's 500 was about 75 years. Today, it's below 10 years. So this is how the world is changing, and partially it's because of the internet and the cloud services that are out there. So, the company that we will find in Standard & Poor's within 5 years from now may not exist at the moment at all. And the great company, the great example of such a speed in building up the business and being innovative is a company called Ouya. What they've done is they designed a game box device, like a console, which is based on Android, on Android, and they had one problem: they didn't have any funding to move forward with this. So they decided they will go to Kickstarter, a service that is actually allowing, which is a social tool that allows people to fund specific projects and donate money to move forward with whatever the project is. And what they were hoping is they were hoping to get about $950,000 within 30 days. What happened is that they got $1 million in 8 hours, and in 30 days they got $8.5 million. And this would never be possible, let's say 10 years ago. So fundamental behaviors that are allowing companies like Ouya to be successful are those that they start business without any baggage. They don't have any backpack that they carry, which means that they can embrace fast and productive consumer technology, but also they can have access to the same underlying technology that is available to all the businesses today. Analysts frequently associate success of companies like Ouya with the technology innovation, but we really believe that there's more to it. Companies like Ouya embrace the behaviors that we enjoy in our consumer lives, which are based on mobile, cloud, and social trends, which we see all over the world right now. And this is a collaborative and social approach that allows companies or us to get things done faster and sometimes in amazing speeds, just like getting that funding to move forward with the production. And those are three statistics that may not surprise you, but are important to understand because they show a certain trend. First of all, in 2012, the mobile devices sale moved over the traditional PC sale, and those are two curves that will never meet again. And the speed of adopting mobile technology is moving forward even more than anybody can predict. We have connected only 1 billion people to the internet right now, a little bit more than 1 billion. What's going to happen with next 5 billion? Most of them will never use or own a PC. They will go mobile. They will use the services that are available through them on the devices that they can afford. And if we see what happens, for example, those are statistics from US. 98% of Americans own mobile devices, and 40% of those are smartphones. And 95% of all the mobile users are using some kind of cloud services. And in terms of the social phenomenon, every month they spend 230 years on social tools. So that gives you a certain perspective of what's happening in the world, and it's no different in Europe. So these behaviors, the desire for us to use the same tools and approaches we use as consumers, is a widespread movement right now. People fundamentally want to work together to do things faster and innovate at greater speed. You know, Forrester ran a report, a study all over the world, and on average, 53% of employees worldwide are bringing some kind of their own technology, whether this is a device or they use services that they use as consumers to do their work. And why is that? This is because they want to work the way they live. They don't like the tools that companies are giving to them, and the old IT model is kind of burning out because no one can defend the tremendous costs of building infrastructure in-house. Plus, even if you spend a lot of money, you always have to compromise, which means that employees who are used to things happening really fast in their consumer lives are not happy with it, and they bring their own tools to the work, which brings completely another subject of security and so on, which is not something we'll talk about today. But that's one of the reasons why companies are moving more and more and more towards outsourcing, whether this is outsourcing of the processes or outsourcing of IT. Because simply they cannot defend the old model anymore. They need functionalities which are not available to them if they do in-house systems. So, you know, few other numbers. In 2008, the consumer traffic over the internet for the first time in history was bigger than the business traffic. And this was 2008. 2013, the consumer traffic is 5 times bigger than the business traffic. So this shows you how the consumer technology is moving forward and what kind of pace it has. And we really know well at Google, because by serving 100 billion queries every month on Google.com, we know what kind of immense infrastructure you need to have to actually maintain that kind of growth levels. So we believe that by helping employees work the way they live, business will move faster and innovate. Because you remove those boundaries that are set within the company's frameworks, either by not enough budget, not enough people, not enough resources, or simply the technology barriers which exist if you decide to do things in-house. So we believe that you know, we are uniquely positioned to deliver this change and help companies move to the different level and achieve different speed. Our vision is to make this reality for our customers and helping them transform the way they work so that they can achieve more and innovate. That's what the vision of Google right now is. And you know, we want to do it through our mission, which is to help you work the way they live from anywhere, better together, and with the tools that you really can trust. And just few examples. I know this is a little marketing, but that gives you a perception. And of course, some of you know that it works in that way. By using different tools, companies that actually go on Google are giving us feedback about what kind of benefits they got out of this year, 2, 3 years after they started to use the service. And in terms of Best Buy, they're using our cloud platform to build their own applications, which now they can do much faster than they used to be able to do before and with much less resources. And Roche, the quote from the CFO and CIO at the same time, he really believes that by embracing the outsourcing technology, he can have his people concentrate on what's the most important thing, which is saving human lives. And in British Airways, they had a big problem with the customer satisfaction, and by using the technology, they were able to move forward and boost that customer satisfaction. So those are the things that, amongst other, those companies are getting out of using the outsourcing. Another marketing slide. I promise this is the last one, but it's not about how many customers we have. We are working with 5 million companies worldwide right now. But what is important that this is a global movement, and Google is just one example of how the world is moving towards the outsourcing. Whatever you call it, if in IT world you may call it cloud or whatever, or shared services in some other verticals. But this is a movement which is growing, and the speed of growth is just tremendous. And we cannot even predict what's going to happen in 6 to 12 months. In terms of how our customer base is going to grow. So we work with our customers to help them adopt this new challenges, and allowing them move forward with their goals in a way that they were not able to do before by taking popular consumer products and attaching to them a lot of features which are needed for enterprise businesses, governments to use, and we do this in those 5 pillars, which are those that we believe are the most important within the space that we function. So one of the things is about connection. It's about connecting people so that they can create and collaborate to do things much faster and deliver bigger value. Visualize. You probably all know Google Maps, but what we can do with Google Maps is we can integrate this with your data layers so that you can make your decisions faster. You can track the patterns that are happening, and be much better educated about what's happening with your data. And build. We have quite a big infrastructure. Google over the past 14 years had built several dozens of data centers, which we now made available for our customers to use to build their own applications, run them, and host them. So that's another part of outsourcing game that we are in, and we want people to be able to do it without any restraints, whether those are budget restraints or the performance of the machine's restraints. So we want to unlock the potential through it. Fine, you probably use google.com. So imagine google.com in your own company, where you can search in the same intuitive way through the information resources that you have in your company. This is something that we also help our customers to achieve and be much better informed and find information in a much faster way. And finally, access. Chrome browser and Chrome operating system with the devices like Chromeboxes and Chrome books. Those are the products that allow secure and controlled access to the web resources and the cloud itself, and managed by the cloud service that Google delivers in terms of in terms of cloud management of the devices. So, you know, the 4 things that I think are important here to remember is that, you know, on every conference, for the last 20 years, I've heard that business is moving faster and faster and faster, and everything is about the speed. But, you know, where's the end to it? Everything is moving faster every year. So we have to cope with that. And then speed is really crucial. Speed in how we innovate, how we free up our resources to do the core elements of what is important to our company. And employees are bringing their tools. They started massively use the consumer devices and services to do their work. And this is a trend that is well known right now. Another fact is that, you know, simply the old IT model cannot be defended anymore. We have examples of customers here in Central Eastern Europe where we were running the TCO studies where we were comparing their existing cost structure of just maintaining the status quo without any investment. And it was more expensive to maintain the traditional IT systems than move everything to the cloud and take benefit of the functionalities and features which they were not able to achieve with in-house infrastructure. So those are things that are also happening. And you know, I believe that Google is uniquely positioned to deliver this because we really take care. We come from the consumer heritage, and you know, in the consumer world, the way it works is that you move. You go to the service as a consumer. If you don't like it, you leave it within a minute or two, and you never come back. So it's a very cruel world, and it's all about how the human being can interact with that interface. And this is the key element in Google's philosophy of building the services. And I hope you saw many examples of that before. And you know, we would like to understand how we can help you achieve your goals. So if you have any questions or you want to talk to me later on, I'll be happy to address your questions, concerns. Thank you.
Any questions? Don't go away just yet, because I actually have a question for you.
Right.
Because I totally get it, but you know what I was looking for, Przemek, was I saw the Google example, or the search example you gave, which could go across our data and then provide us with much more structured searches and, you know, knowledge management systems, whatever. Can you provide any other kind of examples to us that, you know, bearing in mind the people who are here today and what we're doing, we will be able to kind of relate to? The search one I get totally, but maybe other examples?
One of the interesting examples of using the outsourced services that we have is, for example, in Spain, where they have highways, and in the highways, and this is about creativity, figuring out the creative way to use the tools that are available. So they have highways, and all the highways have little sensors connected to them, which are measuring temperature, you know, the speed of the cars, many different parameters. So all of those parameters are uploaded into the cloud storage in Google infrastructure. And then we have, which is my favorite part of Google portfolio, which is a prediction engine. To a certain extent, this is the engine that predicts the future. So basically what it does, it takes this massive amount of data and predicts the patterns. So then it feedbacks those patterns to the operators of the highway, and they can monitor what's happening, and with certain probability they know what's going to happen on the highway, what time, and how they can maneuver the traffic around it. So that's one example. Okay.
And just back to British Airways, you mentioned their customer satisfaction, which I think is something we're always trying to tune into.
Right.
When you said you were trying to do something with customer satisfaction, was it a better application for customers to use, or was it a kind of research into customers?
For British Airways?
Yes.
So this was their web interface through which customers were supposed to navigate to find different information like flights, schedules, and so on. and it just wasn't working good enough for their customers to be happy. So they used Google search technology and heavily customized it to reflect the user interface that they wanted. And this made it very, very easy and very fast for their customers to find information that they wanted.
Okay. Any other questions? One question here, George. You can speak into my microphone, George, but you'd have to get too close to me.
Yes, my question is that you mentioned about 53% of employees now use their personal applications for business purposes. Do you see any correlation between that and any increase of people who are now home working?
Who are home working?
Home working, yeah. So I would see that as a potential enabler.
You know, I guess our perception is that it really doesn't matter, right? Because you know, if you're working from home and you use your own devices, right, it's the same. So you fall into that 53% category. But the point is that people do start using their own and start heavily using their own devices. So the whole notion of bring your own device and associated problems with this. How as a company, how do you allow that in a secure way? And how do you are your systems actually capable of handling many different devices, operating systems, and so on? So this is what's happening, and in many cases, especially those that work at home, I believe, are using consumer tools to do their job faster and more effective. And this is because we run audits with our customers about their employee satisfaction. And many of this information is coming from those audits. And anonymously, people are saying that they use consumer technology because with the tools they are given at work, they just can't do it fast enough.
Okay.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.